We're seeing you on The Big Leap. How was Simon originally described to you?
Simon was described as this uber competitive Johnny Weir meets David Rose, like qu- constantly quoting David Rose, that kind of character. And in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, I know who this guy is. And I think a huge part of Simon's identity is the fact that he is a twin. So obviously that was in the character description too. Um, Ballroom background, ballet background, just very, very type A.
Was there anything that you could add to him then that maybe wasn't in that initial breakdown?
Yeah, I think that when I read the script and when I was working on the character, there's such a sense of humor to him so I think that I really tried to add in my own flair of humor and sarcasm and the inherent eye roll that comes with Simon. I think that he's both perpetually over it and so excited to be there, but he doesn't want you to know how excited he is to be there because he just doesn't want to seem overeager. So that's kind of what I've tried to add to the character.
As a twin myself, I do see that you guys truly have this on-screen bond. Did you guys spend time working that out, or was there just an innate chemistry between the two of you?
So when I auditioned and when Anna Grace auditioned, we had to do a chemistry read, and it was via Zoom. So I mean, in this world how weird Zoom is these days. But in episode 2, you catch us doing an interview straight to camera. And so Jason, our executive producer and the director of the episode, said, pretend like you guys are looking at each other, on screen, and so not facing each other, but we'll put your Zoom screens next to each other so it looks like you are there together. And immediately Anna Grace, she started the scene. She came up with this improv with all of these affirmations, and she, I think, said, repeat after me, which was not in the scene. And she said, I am smart. And I was like, I am smart. I am fabulous. I am fabulous. I am modest. And I went, eh. And she was, and then she said, okay, now we're ready. And then we launched into the scene.
Yes. I
And
mean, Simon
Jason, yeah,
super
Jason was like,
confident.
that's chemistry right there. So we didn't know each other beforehand, but we've developed this sibling rapport both on screen and off. But yes, Simon is uber confident.
There is such a confidence between the both of you. Is it that um, super competitive instinct your mother instilled in you to into your characters? I should say, growing up, like you've got this, everyone else is below you.
I think that it's that crazy stage mother who always pushed her kids to the front, and you find out a lot more of the twins' backstory as as the season progresses. We have those lines in episode 2 where we're losers sleep in the garage. The only excuse for losing is getting shot in the face. I think Anna Grace and I just kept going and riffed off of that. One more snack, you'll be dancing in the back. All of these horrible things that our mother could have said to us. But when you have someone like that from a very young age who is forcing you to always be on, always be fighting, and I think all the twins had was each other. So that's how they got so close, but also so competitive.
I mean, we'll see how this plays out in the Midwest based on their chemistry, right?
I see how Twincest plays in the Midwest.
Yes, exactly. I loved that line. And I mean, my other favorite line was when you were telling them that, when you're telling Justin, that you had, what was it, meningitis, or did you have,
Yep, I had meningitis.
and that was
Yeah.
like the best thing that ever happened.
Only Simon could turn meningitis into a positive story. His skin cleared up, so it was worth it.
He probably got to rest for a little while, so his feet appreciated it not being so competitive.
Yes, but I'm sure that his mom, while he was
Oh,
resting,
that's true.
was
She
like
probably forced him like daily
like
routines or
stretching.
something.
Yeah,
You
she
may
was
be laying
probably
in
like,
bed, but there's some dancing you could still be doing. You're on your deathbed, but you need to be moving.
Yeah,
And I
it's
have
just
to,
giving you notes.
I mean, and he's so confident though with his sexuality as well, which I think is amazing. And I really feel that Justin sees the person he could be in Simon. Talk about that relationship.
I think Simon is taken aback by Justin, for a bunch of reasons. I think there's this obvious instant connection between the two of them, but I think Simon also sees all the other dancers on the show and is like, they're fine. But he sees Justin as not necessarily his competition, but as an adversary and someone that he really respects. And I also think, he talks about, he says, you have so much internalized homophobia. I don't know how you get out of bed in the morning. I think that he recognizes Justin's insecurities, and I think that they complement each other really well. Justin keeps Simon grounded, or as grounded as Simon can possibly be. And for Justin, I think that Simon will help him come to terms with his sexuality, or at least be more accepting of himself, and a little bit more open to new people, new ideas. I think that Justin's got immediate opinions about Simon, and Simon's got immediate opinions about Justin. But as the season progresses, it's a really beautiful way that these two characters come together, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Now, the basketball court scene I found to be so telling of both of these characters. They're willing to interrupt a basketball game to get their dance on, but also still both super confident with their dance abilities. So while Simon is sort of mentoring him in, Swan Lake, Justin is also, I think, teaching Simon, a little bit of hip hop at the same time. Was that what was meant to play out in that particular scene, or was there some sort of allusion to maybe a friendship to come?
I think that, they're hinting at some sort of bonding and friendship and mutual respect to come. But yeah, I think what I love so much about that scene is that there's this juxtaposition of Simon walking in with, this tiny pink boombox and his, pink trench coat and pink sweatpants. And you see all these guys playing basketball. And you have that juxtaposed with all these people who are judging him. And Simon doesn't give a shit, he doesn't care. And Justin cares so deeply, I think, about what other people think of him. And so it's that first introduction of dance being an expression of whatever it is you want it to be. For Simon in that moment, he shoots a hoop, I think I yelled Jordan and completely miss. But he doesn't care, and he's like, well, this is my shtick. This is what I do. And what I love about what happens next is that Justin recognizes that Simon is being judged, and these people are like, who's this guy? And he jumps in, and it's like, all right, no, this is what my version of that is. This is what dance can be. And then we have this back and forth where we win the group over. And when we were choreographing that, I hope that Jason does, an extended director's cut, because there are so many different dance sequences that we had in that number. I have one where I'm kind of doing a samba with a basketball, and then, Justin and I have another basketball dance together, and we, in rehearsals, we're playing around with a little bit more of a training montage. So, I think you were spot on though with your first instinct that this is supposed to reflect a friendship or more to come.
Well, that was certainly one of my most memorable moments, if not the little quips from Justin, from Simon throughout the first few episodes that I've gotten to see. What were some of your favorite moments, if you can tease, or maybe episodes you really think fans should stay focused for?
Um, There is in episode 3 this beautiful moment that Justin, Monica, and I have on the rooftop of the Drake Hotel. And that was so stunning and gorgeous to film. And I think is a real continuation of their relationship. And personally and selfishly, what I'm most excited for is come episode 6, we really get to find out more of what makes the twins tick and kind of why they are the way they are. But what Liz has done beautifully is really, I think, from the get go, and especially starting in episode 2, you really start to care about each character's backstory and why they need the second chance and what they're fighting for and what dance and this show could mean to them. In episode 3, it dives deeper into Monica. In episode 4, it dives deeper into to Wayne. So each episode, we really dig a little bit deeper into each character, and she's done a beautiful job, I think, at making the audience fall in love with this ensemble.
Speaking of falling in love, I know why Fast fell for The Big Leap, but why do you think audiences will?
I think right now it's a show that's so unique. I remember watching the pilot after we filmed it, and when we had first had the opportunity to sit down and actually see the first edit of it. And I remember thinking that there's not something that's like this on TV right now. It's a feel-good dramedy, and it's a dramedy in the truest sense, right? It's an hour-long format, but it is so quippy and it moves. And by the end of the episode, I remember being like, "Oh my God, that's it? Like we're done already?" Because
I
I was
know.
having such a fun time watching the show. And for me, what's been most exciting is, look, as an actor, we're constantly doing different projects, and I've been in shows before where my parents are like, "Yeah, it was cute, but we enjoyed it because you were in it." And this is a show that all of my friends and all of my family are saying, screw you, we'd watch it regardless. And that makes me so happy because I think right now with so much weight and so much heaviness in the world, The Big Leap is a light, and it really, I think, is not necessarily escapism because it is about real people and real lives, but it will bring you a lot of joy and hope right now, which is what I'm certainly craving.